your local fitness go-to girl, Fee King, and this is the Fee King Show. It goes down, God willing, every Friday from 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 12 noon. And yes, the Fee King Show, the Fee King Show, Fee King Show, Fee King Show is moving. We're moving. We're actually moving to a whole new streaming platform that goes down the week of June 19th. You know what? Here's the thing. We've known that this was going to happen. We just didn't know when, and it's gotten pushed back, and all is good. I'm proud of myself for being patient. I am so proud of the team for being patient and continuing to work together. I'm so excited to be on the same channel with so many incredible shows, and they're bringing different topics and energy and flavor and vibe to the internet. This is so dope. So check the Fee King Show out on indiesoupmedia.com. We're going to be on Twitch. We're going to be on Android TV. We're going to be on YouTube. We're going to be on Apple TV and 2 more. Oh, it's going to be so exciting. So you won't be able to see the show here anymore. You will see teasers and little snippets, but the actual show will be on these various platforms. Welcome back to the Fee King Show. So this is what I want to know off the cuff. Who out there either takes Uber? Who out there has ever driven for Uber? Who out there calls an Uber for a loved one, and or who has ever taken an Uber from a doctor's appointment and it's paid by the insurance company? So I want you to type that in the chat, whether you are on YouTube, whether you are on Facebook and you're watching the replay, or whether you are on the gram. What's up, Carla Sugar? So let us know, and I would like to do some shout out to the one and only my baby sister, Miss Beauty J'adore, for lacing me with this beautiful summer top. I have pants to match. The pants are this color, so free flowing and breezy and beautiful, and I love it. It's so comfortable and flattering for every body type. You can follow my sister on IG and Facebook at Beaute J'adore. That's Beauty J'adore. Voila! And it just pops up on the screen. But on Instagram, it's Beauty J'adore. Beaute J'adore. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for my ear candy. Yes, let's get us some shots. What? Ear candy. And then let's see what the ear candy looks like with a lovely floppy summer hat. So you know about the hat game, right? The hat game, anytime I change topics or subjects, we go into a new hat. And so because I'm thanking all of our sponsors and those who allow me to be an ambassador for their products, I'm thanking them with a change of the hat, right? This is our hat game. And ear candy is by Her Glow Candy Shop. Her Glow Candy Shop. Everything yummy, delicious, pretty, colorful, bright for the ears and the neck. Get it from your girl, Ife, I-F-E, at Her Glow Candy Shop. Thank you so much, Ife, for allowing me to like bring pretty back this summer. I love this so much. Our next announcement is we are in June. Did you know? June is National Men's Health Month. So for all the men in our lives, whether they are brothers, fathers, uncles, cousins in them, boyfriends, fiancés, let us wrap our loving arms around our men and encourage them to get those exams, encourage them to drink the water, encourage them to take their vitamins, encourage them to move. Segue into what's going on the month of June. So this month is Sekou Writes, and you all know Sekou Writes. It is his birthday month. So I love that Sekou gets to share his birthday month with National Men's Health Month. It is June 24th, and Sekou is inviting us. That is you, that is me, that is you, that is you, that is you. He's inviting us to move every day. He wants us to do 3 things to support ourselves and to support him. Sekou is coming upon his 11th month of surviving through his stroke. He had a hemorrhagic stroke that is bleeding on the brain, July 14th, 2022. And so for anyone who is either had a stroke or love someone who's had a stroke, you know that coming out of a stroke is a journey in and of itself, and it's a process. Sekou has not been able to work since the day of the stroke, which was his 409th consecutive day running. He had been running and raising monies for the unhoused community. And so this is now our time to support and uplift him by supporting his fundraiser, right? So we're going to be exercising every single day. Do what you can. If you can get out there like Sekou and run and walk, do it. If not, exercise at home, in a park, at a gym, take a Pilates class, a yoga class, go hiking, go swimming, go dancing and karaokeing, but do something every single day. And tag Sekou Writes. That's SEKOUWRITES. You can pledge on his website, which is SekouWrites.com. That's on the bottom of the screen, SekouWrites.com. So let's just say you want to follow my plan, which is to donate or to pledge $2 per every mile that he runs. He runs anywhere from 1 upwards miles a day. He pretty much is consistent with at least 1 to 2 miles a day. So I am pledging $2 for every mile that he runs the month of June. And I want my sisters out there to join me. And I want you to say today, yes, Be King, I am joining you. I am going to exercise every day. I am going to make a pledge either per mile that he runs or a flat amount. I'm going to go onto his website and do that. I am also going to purchase his book, Hack, H-A-C-K, Your Pain Now, Hack Your Pain Now. He wrote this book prior to his stroke, and it's become even more apropos after and during his recovery. So anyone experiencing any kind of pain, mental, emotional, physiological pain, please get this book because you do not have to suffer in silence. Hack Your Pain Now. Pre-sale is going down right now on Amazon. It's $9.99. The price goes up in July. We will all have the book at the same time. I'm so excited for Sekou, and I'm so excited for all of us because we get to do this together. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, we are. The Fee King Show is all about who are you, right? Like, who are you outside of your social media profile? What do you do? What's your why? How in the world are you keeping it all together or not? So my name is Fee King. I am a sister, a cousin, an auntie. I'm a pet parent. I am a daughter. And I'm an auntie. I'm so happy to be an auntie because we did not know that was going to ever happen. What do? I help women over the age of 40 specifically, yet not exclusively, get from where they are to where it is they want to be along their health and wellness journey. Why? Because I love myself so much today that it only makes sense to love women where they are and to help them get from that place. Because sometimes we tend to feel stuck during the midlife years, which is anywhere after 35 is considered midlife. My how? Woo! Lord have mercy. Thank you. Prayer, meditation, mindfulness meditation, transcendental meditation, exercising, running, and reading. That is how I stay balanced. And I'm a Libra. Are there any other Libras out there in the house? Where are all my Libras? I am a Libra. And so being balanced is not always realistic because we like to be here. We like for things to be even all the time. And life is always going to give you some of this. Life is always going to give you some of this. Life is rarely going to give you this. Life is, it's going to give you all of the flavors, all of the colors, and you get to find your self-care modality and you get to commit to it. I love affirmations. Affirmations are so powerful. However, in order for affirmations to work, you get to put some action and some feeling to the affirmation. So we don't just say, I am strong, I am beautiful, I am grateful, I am happy. You actually get to do the things that make you feel strong, that make you feel happy, that make you grateful, that keep you in a place of gratitude, right? Does that make sense? Put it in the comments if it makes sense. So one of the other things that I do, aside from being a virtual personal trainer and an inspirational speaker, is I get I get, and I say that with my whole heart, I get to get in these streets, in these Be More Loving Baltimore streets, and get behind the wheel and pick strangers up when they make a request through the app and I show up. I get to be an Uber driver. And let me tell you something. I realized today, and I actually made a video. I said, you know what? I think I'm not addicted, but I believe that I've been called to do this so that I can connect the dots, not just for my personal life, but help other people connect the dots. And also I get to curate these stories. I get to meet, and I'm going to actually count. I'm going to do that today. I'm going to count and let you know how many people I get to engage with and experience on any given day. I'm going to say it's upwards of 30 to 40 strangers every single day. And what I'm loving about this journey that I'm on with Uber, this journey that I am on with Uber is, and it's taken a while because I will have hit my 5-year mark of living in Baltimore City, July 12th next month. That's my anniversary. So expect something fabulous. And not until this year have I met the kind of people that I resonate with, that I vibe with, people who are allowing stimulating conversations in the Uber. I want you to take a look at this video. This is my first video, my first reactionary video through Uber Chronicles that went down just this morning. So take a look and a listen. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. This is your local fitness go-to-go feed king, and I got my eyes and my ears and my heart to these streets. Now here's a question on the table. When you wake up in the morning and you are met with an obstacle, let me paint that picture for you. Let's say you wake up and you go out to your car and it's gone. Let's say you wake up, you go out to your car, there's a ticket on it. Let's say you wake up, you go out to your car and the right or left side is completely caved in because someone has hit you in the middle of the night. Let's say you go to your car and there's a boot on your car. What is going to be your reaction? So I pull up to pick up this young man. Yeah, I knew it was a man. It was a man's name. And so I see the address. No one is outside except for a man who's at a pickup truck, and there's a big boot on it. Now, I'm going to be honest. I almost took a video of the boot because I've been noticing more booted cars in Baltimore City, more booted cars. Something in my spirit said, don't. I think it's because I saw him. So I make a U-turn so that I can pick him up on his side of the street. He peeks out, you Uber? And I said, yes. I said, did you call an Uber? He said, yes. I said, what's the name? He gives me his name. He comes over to the car. He gets in and I said, good morning. How are you? And he said, I'm good. I'm good. I said to him, I said, that situation, and I pointed to the boot. I said, I can only imagine how challenging that is. I said, but let me tell you something. I said, you appear to be a man who's resourceful, to be a man who's creative and confident. And I know that you're going to work that thing out, right? He said, you're right about that. I'm going to work that thing out. But right now I need to get to work. I said, let's get you to work. I said, and I appreciate your attitude. I said, because you could have allowed that whole situation to take you out. You could have allowed that whole situation to take you out and to ruin your day. And do you know, by the time I got him to his restaurant, I learned that he's a chef. He works at a Black-owned restaurant. It's owned by a Black woman. The name of this restaurant. So all my Baltimoreans, you ready? You ready for this? I'm about to drop a gem on you. The name of this restaurant is Ms. M-I-S-S Carter's Kitchen. Ms. Carter's Kitchen. And I don't have a banner for that, but that's okay. I'll put it in the broadcast. Ms. Carter's Kitchen is on Lexington and Liberty. And so I went to the social media, I connected with him, and I said to him, I said, do you all have plant-based or vegan food? He said, oh man, he said, you know what, we don't. He said, but we need to. He said, but let me show you something that I created for a friend. He said, I created a thank you so much, Sekou Wrights, my producer. He is on top of it, y'all. I tell you, you gotta pick your tribe. You get to pick your tribe wisely. And so He said to me, I created a plant-based tuna fish. And he said, do you have a minute? And I was thinking, I really don't, but let's just do it. He shows me a photo of tuna fish on some romaine lettuce, y'all. And he made the tuna fish. He made the tuna fish with chickpeas. I said, I forget his name. I said, I really want to connect with you. I said, because I'm feeling your vibe. And I said, and I feel like if you all add more plant-based foods to the menu, then you'll open up your current pay, your current customer base. I said, I am loving this. I said, this picture is amazing. He said, do you know I gave it to my mom and she did not know it wasn't tuna fish? Okay. That all happened in the Uber. That all happened in the Uber just this morning. And so we connected via social media and I connected with Miss Carter's. I'm going to go down to Miss Carter's and introduce myself. And I know they do greens, so I know I can have some greens, but these are the kind of interactions and connections that get to occur within a matter of minutes. Thank you, Uber Chronicles. I have one more story for you. We're going to roll that video. This is Uber Chronicles, and I got my ear, y'all, to these streets. Let's go.
Are you reactive, reacting,
And I think there's
or
another
are you
video.
solution creating? Are you coming up with the solution?
Yes, we're coming up with a
Things
solution.
that make you go, huh?
Hmm.
This is Uber Chronicles. I am your local fitness go-to girl, Fee King, and I got my eyes and my ears and my heart to these streets. And so this is what happened.
So here comes the next video of what happened, and I'll go into a little more explanation. But if not, I'll just share it because it is like ingrained in my brain. So I think I'll just share it. All right. So I am going to share it. I pick up two passengers, and as it would stand, it was as if the first conversation beautifully segued into the second. And it was as if there was a sign. There was a sign for me to engage and for me to listen. So I pick up a passenger. The name on the account was Tavon. And at first, I'll be honest, I was a little resistant because sometimes if a person has a younger name, sometimes I feel like, it may be associated with someone getting in the car and they're going to be playing their music loud. They're going to be doing all the things. I still tend to project my own stuff onto passengers. And I pulled up and it was this really interesting neighborhood that was like off the beaten path. And I remember it was this feeling that came over me. And I thought, this is such an interesting street. He comes out, and I appreciated that he was ready because I'll be honest with you. Uber gives you 4 minutes, but fam, don't take the 4 minutes. Be ready. When you call an Uber, be ready. Don't get ready while the Uber is en route. Be ready because it's better for you and for the Uber driver. And let me tell you why. Because they will leave you. Let me tell you why. Because in the morning, especially rush hour and late evening, you're constantly getting rides in your queue. And so I'm picking you up. As soon as I get there, Uber drops another ride in my queue. And so that other person that's waiting, you're actually causing them to wait 4 additional minutes and then they're going to cancel. So it's this whole trickle down effect that affects you. It affects the driver. It affects the next passenger. So be ready, be outside and be ready. All right. I pick him up. I said, good morning. How are you? I said, did you call an Uber? What's your name? He gets in the car and I said to him, I said, this is such a beautiful street. He said, it is. He said, it's a hidden gem. So he's speaking my language. He said, once you get out, and it gets a little tricky. He didn't have to tell me because I know. Normally at night when I'm in that area, I turn the app off. But this was an oasis. It was an oasis of peacefulness, tranquility, and beautiful trees. And it was beautiful. We got to talking about houses. We got to talking about programs. We got to talking about Johns Hopkins. He works at Johns Hopkins. We got to talking about this new development happening all over the city and how there was one house in his neighborhood that I noticed that was distressed. And I said to him, I said, is that the only house on your block that, is abandoned? He said, yeah. I said, do you know if anyone's bought it? He said, yeah, actually, A neighbor who lives on the street owns 3 houses on that street. They own that one. They haven't done anything with it. I said, I'm asking because I'm looking to buy and I'm looking at the distressed homes, the abandoned boarded houses in Baltimore. I said, and I really like this little street. It was just a little street, a one way. He said, yeah. He said, they just keep sitting on it. So we started talking about that. I'm sharing with him the programs. And then we talked about social media. It was just beautiful to be able to engage in a stimulating conversation with a like-minded person. I get him to Hopkins. The other thing that I really appreciated that he said, he's a Black man. He has 4 daughters. He said, I have an issue with social media. And I was like, well, do tell, because I love social media. He said, well, I appreciate the pluses. He said, I feel like young people are disillusioned with social media. And so much of it's not true. You know, the houses and flashing the money and the cars. He said, and I think it sets our young people up for failure because they believe that it happens overnight. The cars, the money, the houses, the job, the status, the influence. He said, and it doesn't. He said, and a lot of times people are renting these houses and, you know, they're doing all the things as trappings. He said, so what I do with my daughters once a week, me and my 4 daughters get together and I go over with them the 4 cycles of life. Oh, I was like, what? You know, and I said, I've got to go back down the rabbit hole to remind myself of those 4 cycles of life. One, I do recall for sure, which is decay, which is, you know, there's a time in your life, there are cycles that we all get to go through the longer you live. He said, and I explained to my daughters how to identify the cycle that they're in and the cycle that other people that they're potentially being influenced are in. Like, what cycle of life are these people in? He said, I also share with them that social media is not always real. Like, what you see is not always what is really happening. And so he said that he started investigating the algorithms and just really going down the rabbit hole. We get to Johns Hopkins and I said, oh, I shared with him, there's an African-American woman. Her name is, her Instagram is Parody. I think it's House Parody. Long story short. Oh, this one really just gives me chill bumps. She moved here from New York. She wanted to invest in the urban communities that have a high concentration of the unhoused, abandoned, sorry, not unhoused, the abandoned boarded up houses here in Baltimore City. She said she met with investors and she said, they laughed at me. She said, they laughed at me because I wasn't a big development company. I didn't have the experience. Well, just a few short years later, she did a beautiful TED Talk. She has already purchased 40 of those homes and helped numerous African Americans buy homes in their own community where gentrification is happening so that they don't have to get pushed out. They can actually stay and be a part of the solution. So I was sharing that with him on social media, and I think he asked for my social media or I asked for his, I'm not for sure. In his name, it said fitness. I was like, what? I said, signs, the synchronicity. I said, I'm a personal trainer. He said, I manage 3 gyms here at Johns Hopkins. He said, and we're actually looking for female trainers. I was like, I don't know what any of this means. I said, but I am just so happy that I drove this morning because I wasn't. And I'm so happy that I said yes to picking up Tavon. And I said, Tavon, thank you so much for pouring into your daughters. He said, absolutely. He said, because one day these daughters of mine are going to be mothers, grandmothers. They're going to be maybe wives. They're going to be CEOs. They're going to be leaders in their communities. He said, so it's my responsibility to pour into them. Like, what? Yes. I need him on the Fee King show. Put something in the chat and say, yes, you need him on the Fee King show. We started talking about Druid Hill because we drove past Druid Hill Park. I said, that is my favorite park. He said, did you know that they're building a venue in the water? I said, is it on the water? He said, yeah. Did you know that the city of Baltimore no longer owns Druid Hill Park? The state of Maryland bought Druid Hill Park, and that's why they funneled so much money into it. I said, really? I said, because they've been working on that for like 2 years. Yes. So now, fam, my second and last story, when I dropped Tavon off, I picked up a sister who works at, you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? She works at Baltimore City Parks and Recreation in Druid Hill Park. I said, oh my goodness. I said, okay, God, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. She and I were like this. We were like this. By the time she got out of the car, she asked me for my social media. She said, I want to see the Fee King show. I said, I want you on the Fee King show. I said, because I would like for you to share with my community the inner workings of parks and recreation. Because one of the things that I have been saying about Baltimore City is that the parks here are absolutely breathtaking. The parks here are underutilized. We ought to be in these parks every day, all day, from sunup to sundown. I literally set up my tripod and my weights and my cell phone, and I trained out of a park in Baltimore City called Franklin Union Park. Beautiful. It was clean. I got so much love in the park. The parks here are the truth. She, though, however, said that it is not true. She said the city of Baltimore still owns Druid Park. She said because taxpayers are paying for it. The city of Baltimore owns, she said, and the other thing is they have not gotten the green light on building that venue in the water. The residents are still voting on it. Some are here for it, others are not. But here's the one reason why it would be a benefit for this neighborhood and this community is the property value would instantly go up. The property value would instantly go up if they built a concert venue on the water at Druid Hill Park. Oh my goodness. So thank you to Uber. Thank you for Uber Chronicles. Thank you for the experiences that I had this morning in just less than 2 short hours. I got to connect with people that I believe will be a benefit to myself. I will be a benefit to them. We will all be a benefit to our communities and the community that we all share, which is Baltimore City. So this is Uber Chrono, or this is the Fee King Show, and I feel like I'm almost out of time, but I realize I have 2 minutes. I want to thank you for tuning in. Catch us on YouTube live. Right now, we're live. And that's at FEEKING on YouTube. I am on the gram live. That's Fees, FEES, Fitness over OVER 40. And that's also on Facebook. The live broadcast will show up on Facebook in about 5 minutes. It's a StreamYard glitch. We don't know why. And then the Fee King Show. The Fee King Show is moving. We're moving June 19th. That is in a week. I have celebrities coming on the show. I have new segments, Uber Chronicles. And then when the blue collar ball out of control, we will be showing and highlighting the extraordinary architecture in this city, the beauty in the abandoned, boarded, and vacated houses. There's so much beauty in them. There's so many stories. And I am hoping that I can become a part of Baltimore City reaching its fullest potential. And I just want to be just a small part. I just want to do my part. And I hope that you'll come back, and I hope that you'll share. If you found any value in this video, share, because sharing is caring. And don't forget, June is National Men's Health Month. June is. And then June is also our 30-day Hero Challenge. We're working out for and with Sekou Rights. We are pledging and or donating to his GoFundMe fundraiser. When we started this fundraiser back in July of 2022, our goal was to raise $100,000. We got to almost 21,000. We took a break so that Sekou could run the New York City Marathon and donate those monies to Back on My Feet. We also took that break to support Sekou while he vies for the Guinness World Record, which was incredible. And we are now coming back to hit that goal and or exceed it. And we need your help to get there. We need your help to raise $100,000 so that Sekou can continue receiving medical care, so that Sekou can continue to live until he's able to create a new way to earn a living, because he is so creative. He's a motivational speaker. He is an author. He is a professional creative. He is also a jewelry maker. He is multi-dimensional, very talented. And stay tuned. He's going to be on some podcasts this month. So lots of things are going down in the world and in Baltimore City. And on the Fee King Show, I'm Fee King. I bid you love, light, peace, prosperity, abundance, possibility, positivity, not just for today, but for your whole life, your whole entire life. I will see you, God willing, next week. Peace.